What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to check how bad the nerf is to the Shura job class. But before we start the video, do you have problems AFK grinding in ROX? Do you always worry that you may overcharge or the battery of your phone, tablet, or laptop may overheat? Do you worry about your electricity bill when grinding using your personal computer that is running for days non-stop? Or do you encounter intermittent connection from your internet service provider, which disconnects your character when AFK grinding? Well, if that is the case, then UgPhone can solve all of your problems. UgPhone is a cloud phone that runs independently in the cloud, and it does not consume the memory or battery of your physical device. Even if you close the UgPhone app, your game will still continue to run in the cloud, which makes this the perfect phone for AFK grinding for 24 hours, 7 days a week non-stop.
Nice.
You can also run multiple instances of UgPhone in one account, which allows you to play and grind multiple games simultaneously. As you can see, my Shura and Royal Guard are AFK grinding at the same time. UgPhone is available in Google Play for Android, App Store for iOS, Windows Store for PC, and you can also use a web browser to run UgPhone. So if you want to try out UgPhone, you can use my link shown in the description below. And you can also use my invitation code, which really helps me out. So thank you guys, and thank you UgPhone for the sponsor. Now let's get back to the video. First, let's talk about what are the skills that were nerfed for the Shura. So based on the list provided by ROX, they have updated 4 skills of the Shura job class, namely the Steel Body, Gentle Touch, Body Relocation, and Asura Strike. So first, let's talk about the Steel Body. What are the changes that they have made for this skill? Before, the Steel Body has a 50% chance to recover HP equal to 60% of the damage taken when attacked. Now, they have changed the 50% to a skill level multiplied by 7%. So basically, this became better because at level 10, the chances are now raised to 70%. This is basically a buff from the previous success rate from 50% to 70%. The next skill is the Body Relocation skill. For this skill, they made some changes in the distance and how much Spirit Spheres will be used during the skill activation. Before the patch, when you are in critical explosion state, the Body Relocation skill will not use a Spirit Sphere. And when you are in normal state, you will consume 1 Spirit Sphere only. On the new update, when you are in normal state, a Spirit Sphere will no longer get consumed when using Body Relocation, while the movement distance of the skill is at 8 meters. However, when you are in critical explosion state, the Body Relocation skill becomes an enhanced Body Relocation with 1 charge obtained. So when you use the enhanced Body Relocation, you will now consume 2 Spirit Spheres and the distance has been increased to 13 meters. In my opinion, this is not really a game changer of an update because you only use the Body Relocation on certain situations, mostly when evading or escaping from an enemy. Moving on to the next one, which is the Asura Strike. Before, the basic damage of the Asura Strike is at 700%. Now, it has been changed from skill level multiplied by 100% plus 200%. And they have added a limit on the damage increase as every 15 STR points will increase your damage by 1%. Now, first and foremost, this is basically a buff on the Asura Strike.
Nice.
Why? If you compute the new basic damage, level 10 Asura Strike multiplied by 100% plus 200%, that will be a total of 1200%. That is 500% higher than the previous basic damage. Now, a lot of people thought they nerfed this skill because they added a limit on the damage increase. But to tell you the truth, the damage limit doesn't even matter at all. Let me give you a basic computation on this. So in every 15 STR points that you have, you will add 1% damage increase. So basically, to add 100% damage increase, you need to have a total of 1,500 STR points. Now that is manageable, right? So 200% damage increase is a total of 3,000 STR points. Now, this is the reason why this damage limit is not necessary at all. Most high-level players only has 3,000 to 4,500 STR points, which means that they can only add an additional 300% damage increase to the Asura Strike. The highest STR points that I've seen from a spender is around 7,000 STR points. Even that player can only reach around 450 to 500% damage increase. So basically, reaching the 800% damage limit is not really realistic or necessary at all. In my opinion, this is more of a buff rather than a nerf on the Asura Strike skill because your basic damage has already been increased by 500% when you reach level 10. Now that we have covered the 3 skills, let's now move on to the most crucial skill that was modified in this patch. This is the skill that will really make or break Ashura's capability to have a high damage output. What? This is the Gentle Touch energy gain. So what did they change? They did 2 modifications on this skill. Number 1, they changed the generation of Spirit Spheres when losing HP, from 5% of max HP to 10%. Number 2, they added a cooldown on the generation of the Spirit Spheres when the first condition has been met. The computation is 7 minus skill level multiplied by 0.5 seconds. So this is basically 2 seconds at level 10. Remember, before the patch, the cooldown was not included in this skill. So the major change that they did was adding a cooldown for the Gentle Touch skill. Now let's test my DPS before and after the patch. As you can see, I lost a lot of damage because of this major change. When the class balancing was first announced by ROX, most people thought that the 5% to 10% loss of max HP was the problem in the update. But the truth is, the additional cooldown is the main problem in this change. It really made the recovery of Spirit Spheres hard for the Heavy Knuckle Shura, which is why the damage became so low. This is really disappointing considering that the Heavy Knuckle Shura is not even the meta build of a Shura. If we are going to be honest, the Light Knuckle Shura is the more dominant build of a Shura. It can literally dominate both PvE and PvP, and yet the class that really got hit with the hard nerf is the Heavy Knuckles build. If you compare the skills and shadow equipment skills of a Heavy and Light Knuckle Shura, the only skill that can generate Spirit Spheres for a Heavy Knuckle Shura is the Gentle Touch. Unlike the Light Knuckle Shura that has multiple skills that can generate back their Spirit Spheres. Here are some of the skills to give you an idea. So again, I am quite amazed at how the developers came to the conclusion to nerf the Heavy Knuckle build. Considering that if you watch the most recent events of ROX, you rarely see a Heavy Knuckles build used in War of the Chosen and in Roxic.
That's so true.
I'm really disappointed right now with the nerf, but I can't even imagine what the Shura players who have spent money in the game feel right now. I've already seen a few videos of Heavy Knuckle Shura spenders that have lost billions in their DPS and more than 50% of their damage after the patch. I'm pretty sure that these are the questions that will be coming from you guys after you've seen this video. Will I still continue to play the Heavy Knuckle Shura? My answer to that is yes, because first of all, changing jobs at this stage of the game is not really an option for F2P players. The stat transfer of equipment in this game from one job to another is not really built for F2P players. So if I decided to change jobs, I will be starting from zero again. Aww. Number 2, I've already invested more than a year of my time in this character, so quitting or changing job is not really an option for me. Another possible question is an HKN Shura still worth it? Well, that is a very subjective question. That really depends on the player itself. If your favorite class is a Shura and if you want to be a melee type character, then of course that is still worth it. This is basically dependent on the player's preference. Another common question is there a possibility that the HKN Shura will be good again in the future? My answer to that is yes, I think so. Because remember, the 4th job is still coming this year. So there is a possibility that the new skills of the 4th job for Shura is way better and stronger than what we have right now. We will just have to wait and see. And that's it for today's video. If you have more questions about the HKN Shura, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you want to see more ROX content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. GG!
You're a superhero.